EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be, but early in this one, advantage defense.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And it'll be caught in the end zone for the Carolina touchdown by DJ Moore. DJ Moore, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers on just 2 plays have taken the lead. After right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They find some open field. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Brett Maher on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going. Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Newton. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him. Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open. Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it. Jones with a 1st down carry, and he's going to wind up losing a couple as he's stopped behind the line. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs. That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Switch it.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they the 15. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground. Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball? Absolutely. You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. Sliding out of the pocket. A check down here to Jones. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Ronald Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Phillips now from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A big connection on that one. 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. Flushed it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And the pressure gets to McCaffrey as they stop him short of the line to gain. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Here we go with McCaffrey. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple plays ago. That if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right. It was a confident call.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line.
There he goes, right side. The 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to take the lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
They fake the give. Newton. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton, he's going to look deep for more. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play there for Carolina.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the gun, here's Newton. Open man here, the tight end Henry. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Now a first down throw for Newton. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit, or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he's got room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Newton's throw pulled in by Marshall. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there for Carolina. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Terrace Marshall, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Newton now to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before the break. Newton. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Phillips now from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now Newton on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Escaping the pressure right. Open man, the tight end, Henry. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things up.
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 75 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. Levante David in on the tackle. 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's the Panthers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 49. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Newton to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
But how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And it'll be caught in the end zone for the Carolina touchdown by DJ Moore. DJ Moore. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And thanks to the interception, the Panthers offense cashes in with 6. Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dunk that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Lawrence to throw. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Lawrence will throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Jones again on 2nd down, and he'll go down at the 28.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Lawrence on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Howard. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. O.J. Howard, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. Even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter.
Phillips now from the end zone.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side McCaffrey.
85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Newton. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And this is going to be intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it.
And the Bucs are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Lawrence. And a catch right side by Evans.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer.
Now Lawrence.
And he will find his man on the outside. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to take the lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Phillips now from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Newton.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Let's go, B, let's go. 8.
Now Newton. Flushed out right. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball's moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Oh, look at the catch there by Moore. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Dances by him. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Another costly turnover, their second of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
It's football.
Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
2 yards the loss, second and 12. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And they, in fact, will throw it. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. Just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Coming
coming up on 2nd and 7. Cam to throw. Quick completion to Henry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Newton. They'll roll him out right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Throwing is Newton. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 27-yard line. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Now Newton. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Newton. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Buccaneers have just about sewn up this football game. That's now 3 turnovers in this second half. Very costly. And earlier in the half, Charles, when I asked you for your keys to the second half, you said, hey, maybe trite, but it's going to be turnovers. That's been the story.
It certainly has, but I didn't expect it to be this much of the story. I mean, when you're getting up to 3, you're really putting your team in jeopardy. Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Tampa Bay, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.